Okay. Why does it always have to double repeat? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Korner Booth podcast. I am your host, Jared Klim. I am back in Connecticut. Thank God. That drive was insane. I am so done with driving, at least for another month until I have to drive to the Cape. That drive I have memorized, though, so it should not be an issue. I am just happy to be back. Crazy weekend for since Wednesday, running like a madman. This is my first day where the only thing I have to do is bring my rental car back. So mellow enough day. I'm actually rocking some Eagles Hall of Fame edition gear. Has all the they have these for every single team, by the way. It has every single Hall of Famer on the back. I was very fortunate to go to the Hall of Fame. I was able to sneak away for about 2 hours and just go enjoy everything about it. So it was very cool. I haven't been to a sports Hall of Fame since I think it was like 10 years old. I went to the Basketball Hall of Fame because it's like an hour and a half out from my house.
I think that's the only Hall of Fame I haven't been to so far is the football one. Only one. Well, I'm not biased. I'm not going to go to hockey, but
I've been to the hockey one in Toronto.
Hopefully, you boys all get to join me next year in so hopefully, we can do a live show from Canton, which would be really cool to do. Either way, had a blast. Shout out to Mike, Kelsey, DJ, Jacob, Matt, and Blaine for rolling with me. Met some really cool people. We're going to talk about that going forward. Hopefully get them on the show. That being said, some people didn't have good days today. So we'll start off with the New York Jets. Hasson Reddick has asked to be traded. And Joe Douglas, without missing a beat, says, you thought, and released saying that he's expected to be there. We're not trading him. And if he's not here, he's going to get fined. So, Matt, I'll give you a second to breathe and get yourself ready. Outside thoughts. I was always worried about Reddick's attitude. I always loved him when he was in Philly. But when I started hearing rumors how he'd take plays off if they weren't pass plays, I'd get a little skeptical. And then the thing with him being in Japan, cosplaying as a samurai or whatever the hell he was doing, and him like kind of just being weird and absent from Jets camp, and all the drama that happened with us getting Bryce Huff and then us trading him. This whole saga has been weird since about February. So that's from a guy who he played on my team last year. Chris, you anything to add on that from our perspective as Eagles fans?
I think he's being a bit of a baby, to be honest with you. He's definitely earned a contract. A good extension. I don't know why Joe Douglas doesn't pay him, but at the same time, like the dude he's just holding out. Like I get you wanted a contract wherever you got traded, but at the same time, like I just don't get some of these NFL players, dude. Like
no, I got you.
They just I don't know. They just think they're on top of the world. I'm on Maddie's side for this because we didn't give him a deal. We ended up trading him. I mean, I loved him in Philly, so I'm not going to knock him too much, but I don't know. I'm just sick of these holdouts, dude. Ceedee Lamb's doing the same thing. I mean, I hate the Cowboys, but it's just annoying. You're gonna get paid. Like, you just be patient. But
no, I agree. Nate, any outside thoughts here before we let Maddie run this one into the ground?
Yeah. Look, so Reddick so far has missed 21 days of camp, which is pretty bad. So that's about $50,000 per day. So that's a lot of money he's losing. And here's the thing. It's a matter of who blinks first, because the Jets said we're not going to negotiate with anyone until the player's in camp. Reddick's like, no, I want to get paid first before I, attend camp. So it's like, who's going to blink first? Are the Jets going to go out of the way and pay him, or is Reddick going to actually go into camp and then they'll pay him and go from there? And here's the thing. I understand why he wants an extension. He's 29 years old. He's guaranteed. No, he's due for like a non-guaranteed $14 million, somewhere in that ballpark number this upcoming season. So look, he's not going to be one of the highest paid pass rushers in the NFL. I don't think he deserves that. He had a good year last year, but before that, he's been all right, if I'm not mistaken. So, look, he deserves his money, but like Chris just said, just kind of be patient with it. Just attend camp, work it out from there. You've been in Japan doing your little cosplay crap. Just come to camp, dude, and we'll figure it out and go from there.
I couldn't agree more. Maddie, you've waited. You've been patient.
All right. So my thing is, obviously from a fan's perspective that doesn't know anything about the situation, that has not heard anything about the situation, obviously when you trade for a player that's in a contract year and they want a contract beforehand, you would automatically think if you don't pay this man, he's probably going to hold out. So when that happened, at first I was like, all right, Joe Douglas, what are you doing? You traded for a guy in his contract year. Obviously he's going to want a contract. He's a fantastic pass rusher. You got to pay him. Like, I don't understand what we're doing here. But then Connor Hughes, a very respectful reporter on the Jets who's been doing covering the team for a while. He does the Jets and Giants as well. He reported that it was in constant communication between him and the Jets, his people on the Jets, about coming to the Jets, playing out the contract year, turning some, adjusting his current deal, which was converting some non-guaranteed to guaranteed money, maybe some incentives or whatever you got to do, and that they would discuss a contract extension in season as long as he showed up to camp and he performed well. So that made more sense. So he was pretty much saying Hasson was in agreement, Jets were in agreement. It was all about whatever happened after his physical. He just decided not to show up to camp. So he fast forward to now, he requests a trade. I loved what the Jets did. I loved exactly what the Jets said. We have informed Hasson that we will not trade him. This is expected to be here with his teammates and that he will continue to be fined per the CBA if he does not report. Since the trade discussions back in March, we have been clear, direct, and consistent with our position. Our focus will remain on the guys we have here as we prepare for the regular season. That's a statement from Joe Douglas. Connor Hughes also mentioned, which was also a really good point, they're not going to cater to a player who has not played a down for them before. Understandable considering this message would send to others in the locker room who are also waiting on new deals like DJ Reed, Michael Carter, Garrett, Brees, Sauce, Elijah Vera Tucker. And Quinnen Williams did it last year for a little bit, but there was constant communication with the team. They both wanted him back, and they made it happen quick. Now, go back a little further before the trade happened, but it was in the talks. Hasson Reddick on his contract back in April and potentially playing on a one-year deal. Contractual stuff I'm leaving to my agent and Joe to figure out. But whatever happens, I'm going to give my all no matter what. I'm going to be here. Now he requests a trade. And funny thing about when Chris was mentioning about how Ceedee's also holding out, Hasson Reddick's agent is Tori Dandy, and he or she, I'm not sure, who they are. They also represent other players such as like AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Elijah Moore was a big thing for the Jets a couple years ago, Marquise Brown, Chosen Anderson, and Ceedee Lamb. They also represent Ceedee Lamb, excuse me. So makes a lot of sense to me in the sense of this agent could be the one telling him, hey, you need to hold out. But to me, plain and simple, if you had an agreement that you were going to show up to camp, we'll turn some non-guaranteed into guaranteed money. We'll keep you happy. You do well. We'll talk in the season about an extension. If not, cash in next year. If that was the agreement and both sides were like, yeah, cool, that's cool. I respect the Jets for sticking to their game and not budging. Like they said, that sends a message to other players wanting to deal. Maybe they'll pull the same thing. You don't want that. So in conclusion, I'm on the Jets side with this one. Usually I side with the players, but this specific instance, I think the Jets are in the right. And I respect that they're holding him there. And you're like, you need to do what you said you would do and show up.
I could not agree more. I think this whole thing just makes Hasson Reddick look terrible. I will say this, though, to quote our friends over at Caps Off podcast, Jets going to Jet. That's it. This is the most and Maddie, I'm sorry. I wanted to.
Oh, no, it is. I know.
They are my AFC East pick. And I literally sat there watching this headline. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, what the hell? So I guess that's the biggest bow we can put on it. In all honesty.
It's just, even when the team is actually trying really hard to change the culture and to actually be smart and do the right thing, they always figure out a way to unintentionally find themselves in a very Jet-like situation. And this is a very Jet-like situation.
And it's an unfortunate thing because healthy Rodgers, revamped O-line, decent weapons, good running back. They have all these pieces, and now, a thing that can literally win you games, an all-pro level pass rusher. Say what you want about Hasson Reddick. His first year, last 5 years in a row, 10+ sack. Yeah, you can't teach that. He's good at what he does. Does he need to be rotated off the field on first down? Most likely, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He's not like Jadeveon Clowney where he looks for running plays instead of pass rushing. But that's not really much of a high bar to hit. Either way.
I have a hypothetical if that's okay to ask.
All right, yeah. Before we move on, get after it, Nate.
So, Matt, I guess if Reddick does get traded, let's say things go downhill, he gets traded. Is there a replacement on the roster you'll be okay with? Because I know you have Jermaine Johnson on one side, but on the other side, are we shaky, or is there someone on the roster that you feel confident in that can replace Reddick? Not to his talent, of course, but just to be serviceable enough.
I will say, before I answer that, I still have the utmost confidence in this defense, and I still think they're going to be a top 3 defense in the league. Even with or without Hasson Reddick. Hasson Reddick would only make them better. And not to knock him, I do hope he comes. I do hope he shows up. I hope we extend him. I think he's a great player. But I do have partial worry for that other side of the ball. Like you said, we do have Jermaine Johnson. A lot of people forget, and it's okay because what is there to really remember? But we did draft Will McDonald in the first round last year, and everybody was I thought when Bryce Huff left, I expected that means he's going to take the next leap. He showed up to camp the same weight as last year when he said he was going to bulk up. He looked all right in preseason. So that would be who would get the most of probably the snaps if he does not show up. So I am a little worried because he is not Hasson Reddick, but it is to be determined what he is. So it's just a question mark on that side, not a confident question mark.
Cool. All right.
Alrighty. All right, you already talked some NFL preseason headlines. First Guardian caps were shown in live games today. I believe Jonathan Taylor was the biggest name who wore one. They basically, you're putting a condom on top of the helmet. Let's be honest. It's basically a branded condom on the helmet. But
you're just gonna bust through the defense.
I'm not. You know what, Chris? That's a bonus point, man. That's not even a penalty box. That's a bonus point.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly looked at it. I'm like, you know what? Listen, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to make comments about it. If it does help with concussions, great. But I also know how certain people think. This is how I would think. Oh, I have this extra padding. I can go back to using my helmet as a weapon. That's just me. I grew up in that generation where your helmet was still a weapon. I guess we're the last of a dying breed because now most of those guys are in their 10th or 8th year in the NFL. So either way, listen, if it puts some players' mind at ease and it prevents a few concussions and helps alleviate brain injuries, I am all for it, all jokes aside. Do I think it looks great? Nope. Do I think that every player should wear it? It's like a force thing? No. If players want to wear it, should they? Sure. I do like how it looks a lot better than the stupid bubble wrap things that they had last year. We had Jason Kelsey punching his helmet, trying to see if it worked or not. So, I mean,
they could make ankle ones. I'd love to see that on a particular player.
Or here's the thing. I think why can't we just make the helmets better? Why do we have to do these caps?
I have an interesting perspective on this. My cousin actually worked in a lab on one of the labs that actually made some of these helmets. She never told me which one it was. I think it was the Vicks one, which was supposed to be like the Zenith or whatever it was. It was supposed to be one of the first concussion-proof helmets. And you keep seeing the upgraded technology. This is why the whole Antonio Brown thing a few years ago with the helmet was such a big thing, because the helmet standards have gone up so crazy. I was at the Hall of Fame. They showed what the new helmets look like. Dude, I wish they had stuff like this on our helmets. They're lighter. There's more protection. You see guys like Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons and even Reddick is one of them. Also Zeke. These guys have these new high-tech helmets. Mahomes. where it looks a little goofy. But, dude, like, these guys aren't getting their bell rung, and guys are tackling better, and there's a lot. I will say this. I'm seeing a lot less concussions than we saw back when we were in high school and college. Remember, like, I remember it was like, who had a concussion this game? It's down to, like, one guy a week per team has one instead of, like, 3 or 4, which is what was kind of, it always felt like to me back 2012, 2013, 2014 when the whole concussion thing was really in full swing. So, yeah, and also then we have the GOAT of all concussions, DJ called it right, our boy AB, CT ESPN. Oh, my God, literally some of my favorite best. If you guys are not following Antonio Brown, by the way, shameless free plug, go follow him on Twitter. It is the best thing you're going to read all day. It gives me good laughs.
How is he not banned and I got banned 48 hours?
Well, Chris, I don't want to go back into details of what you posted, but wasn't that still pre-Daddy Elon taking over?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Never mind.
We have to figure out how the hell. God, you're goddamn right I am.
I'm making a burner.
That's probably because you didn't say things like that every day.
So I call a couple people crackers.
It's funny because he says the same thing that certain baseball players said they got a suspension for, and nobody kicked.
I saw that. I was like, of course he did. Plays in Boston. It's the most. That's the city. It's perfect. That fan base. He's probably more loved there than ever. Like shit. I mean, listen.
They're probably still celebrating the NBA championship.
Let's put this in perspective. I do not agree with what he said. There's no room for homophobic slurs in the world anymore. But is it hilarious because he said it in Boston to Boston fans who have a very horrible reputation? That irony is not lost on me. Let's ask Torrey Hunter or Milton Bradley about their interactions with Boston fans. Go look up those.
Yeah, nobody like
Adam Jones.
Oh, Adam Jones, another one too.
LeBron,
Bill Russell.
LeBron said, like, I despise playing in Boston.
Yeah, dude, I despise visiting Boston, and I'm whiter than sour cream, dude. I just don't like the city, but
I think CC Pathias said something about he experienced some stuff while probably warming up in a bullpen or something.
Yeah, Chris, I love how we get a bad rap in Philly, and
exactly.
Like, I tried to tell you this 1,000 times. LA fans have beaten a Giants fan almost to death. Raider fans are their own breed. Cleveland fans are just as bad as us. I guess they're more respectable.
Well, you know what it is? We're cooler.
Exactly.
That's right.
Nobody likes us. We don't care. That's literally what it is.
Right.
That's what it is, baby. Come on.
That's right.
All right. But I will say this. The whole Jared Durant thing, I didn't really want to talk about this, honestly. And one of the talks I was at when I was up in Canton, they were talking about uncomfortable situations. And I thought back to what our usual strategy is. We'll talk about it. We'll say what happened, but then we're off. Unless we get cornered and have to say something, and then we have to really walk that minefield of what to say, what not to say. I try to avoid it. I only heard he said something that not great. I heard homophobic slurs, and I was like, you know what? We'll cover for 30 seconds. We'll move on. So that's what we're doing. But shout out AB, CTSPN. Any thoughts on the Guardian caps before we move on? Any y'all?
Better helmets.
It's
Better
cool.
I feel like they try and get better helmets every year. I just feel like this is now they're like, all right, listen, like we keep enhancing these things as like, if this makes you feel a little more better, like, here you go. I'm all for it. If anybody wants to wear it, especially anybody in the Jets, if you want to wear it, please do. I need everybody.
Saving concussions. Anybody else?
It's a cool looking drip.
There you go.
I'd get one if I played football, I guess.
There you go. All right. So we've all watched a little preseason so far. Shout out my boy Ross Tucker over a Big Eagles coverage guy. Obviously, me and Chris know him very well. At least know his content very well. He was talking about the rookie quarterbacks. He brought up an interesting point. I went back and checked on it. All the rookies played pretty decent this weekend. All of them. All the rookie quarterbacks. I sat there and I went back and looked at everyone's stat line. I'm like, Penix made some good throws. JJ hit a nice laser shot for a touchdown. Caleb Williams looked good. I'm damn. Even Bo Nix looked great. I'm just sitting there like,
I was gonna say that. Yeah, Bo Nix looked pretty good.
that was my biggest takeaway. I'm like, I mean, listen, I could talk about how bad the Ravens commentators were. They were awful. Like, I saw multiple, like, fan page. They're also Eagles fan page, but the way the Ravens fans are talking about the Eagles, I'm like, damn, y'all treating us like we're the Steelers or something right now. Wrong side of the state. That was the other point I made. Also, Keely Ringo and Quinyon Mitchell were lights out. Just pro football. Just take notice. That's how you play corner. And also Isaiah Rodgers, too. We could have Slay basically sit in a lawn chair the entire season and might be set at corner. Anyway, yeah, the rookie quarterbacks were sensational. Penix to me looked every bit of what I thought he was going to be. It's why I had him ranked as my third quarterback, but having him getting taken at the back end of the first round, not the front end, I thought the only two quarterbacks who should take it were the ones who were taken 1 and 2. Everyone else could have waited to 10, maybe 3 with Drake May, but that's it. Like, after May, it should have been waiting. I even like how Joe Milton looked great. I mean, listen, I've watched enough Tennessee Vols football to know not to fall for the Joe Milton experience for a third time. He got bumped out of Michigan. He almost lost his start. I believe he lost his starting job in Tennessee and then got it back once Hendon Hooker got hurt. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to clarify. The Tennessee Vols fans sound off in the comments. But I'm not falling for it again, but he looked great. From what I saw, I mean, the only person who they didn't really talk about was Drake May, but I mean, he looked okay. His numbers looked okay. So to me, I just find it hilarious. But then again, also, it is the preseason where teams are throwing vanilla defenses at you because they want to see how the players do, not how the scheme is. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys take away from this preseason?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like the quarterbacks played, pretty well, especially I guess for a game 1. But the big screen me. Okay,
we're gonna try at least on the Monday shows to big screen when somebody's monologuing. So
I feel like I'm yelling at myself in like an insane asylum.
That's okay. You get used to it.
Yeah, but
the white walls behind you don't help, buddy.
Yeah, true. I need my straight jacket. I would say, I mean, like I said, the quarterbacks played well, especially the rookies. But and again, they're throwing vanilla defenses at you. Like, I would say, like, maybe game 3, game 4, you can really see, like, okay, maybe this guy is going to have a good season. Maybe this guy's going to have a good season. But I like what I've seen so far from the quarterbacks. I did have a football draft already. So Caleb Williams is my backup. And I know he actually played pretty well. So I'm hoping he pans out and I can use him in my lineup for a few weeks. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited to see what they do for the next couple games.
Nate, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned Jaden Daniels, but he played pretty well against the Jets. Had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. But I think you summed it up pretty well. Just to sum up week 1 of that preseason was that all the quarterbacks played well. We, just seeing these young guys get experience on the field and play as well as they have. I feel like, like the Bears, the Patriots, the Commanders, not so much the Falcons because we know Penix isn't going to play for like a cool, a couple of years. But
I would never make that assumption only because, he could play great in the preseason. Kirk could get his bell rung. He could not recover. I would never count that out. And also, if Penix could great the regular season and preseason keeps killing it in practice, if I'm the Falcons, I'm trying to see like, hey, maybe some we do like a Sam Bradford Wentz switcheroo, or some team needs a quarterback. Mm-hmm. We do the old give us a first and a second. You got a new mercenary.
So for this season, how like I guess hypothetically,
it's Kirk co-chains the whole way. Unless there's an injury to Kirk. That's it. Next year, though, then you get into the funny stuff because Penix is now 20, going on 26. I believe he's 24, turning 25 right now. He'd be 25, turning 26. Still a good spot. Still young for a quarterback. maybe at that point see what you got and see like Eagles in the 2016 preseason. They had Sam Bradford. He was the starter day one. Vikings lose Teddy Bridgewater to that horrific injury. They panic to give Philly a first-round pick, which we wasted on Derek Barnett. And you go from there. That's really what it comes down to. It's everyone wanted to crap on the Falcons when they did this. And let's be honest, they're going to be a 9-8 team. They didn't fix their defense. But hey, you could flip a Kirk Cousins trade in the offseason or something if a guy goes down in the regular season and turn into a draft pick to go get an edge rusher. Mind blown. The Falcons haven't had a pass rusher since Johnny Abraham. Maddie, what are you thinking?
Joe Milton looked really good. I was watching some of his clips and everything. He was making some really good throws. Had that touchdown. Looked a little better than a certain number 3 overall pick, New England. It'll be very much a New England thing. If Joe Milton is the answer to their quarterback problems, and he took him in the 6th round, and you took another 3 overall guys, it's just very much New England stuff for a 6th rounder to work out again. He looked good. Jaden Daniels did look good against the Jets. Just showing that he can use his arm, use his legs. Also, who in the world is Adrian Martinez and Andrew Peasley? They led the Jets in passing. Adrian Martinez actually sounds familiar.
Yeah, Taylor Martinez's little brother played at Nebraska, I believe.
Peasley, no idea. But he went 8 for 11 with a touchdown, and Martinez went 6 for 10 with 104 yards. So I'll take it. Tyrod Taylor, 1 for 2, -1 yard. There you go. Braylon Allen looked good for the Jets. Malachi Corley looked good for the Jets.
Braylon Allen, incredible Hulk as a running back.
Yeah, he towers over Brees too. That's insane. And Olu Fashanu was the highest graded Jet for that preseason. I believe he had like an 83.3 grade. So shout out to that pick. Yeah, Olympic fashion. And then, like you said, the rest of the rookies, like Caleb Williams looked pretty good. Bo Nix was looking good. Friggin' Zach Wilson. Caught myself. Friggin' Zach Wilson, 10 for 13. Give it a couple weeks, Denver. Trust me. But no,
I found your boss right here. Hold
on.
You'll be very happy to see that.
No, other than that, it was just a good set of games. All the rookies looked pretty good, except even though he won the game with the last couple of seconds, Stetson Bennett, 4 interceptions. Trey Lance also didn't look that great.
Well, they're not rookies, so.
No, but I had to point that out because 4 interceptions against in the preseason is just insane.
Absolutely abysmal. Do not get me started on any of that. But what I will say is that, and I was actually talking to the boys over at Cap Software at the booth, and their boy Philippe, who left the show, was a Cowboys fan. Adam and Jack. Jack is I believe, Niners fan, and Adam is a Dolphins fan. We were talking about the Cowboys for a little bit, and we spoke about Jerry Jones. And I said, I honestly keep praying Jerry just keeps doing what he's doing because they're going to lose Dak, and then they're going to realize Dak was what was holding that team together. As much as Dak is literally Kirk Cousins with a little more running ability, what's after scares the daylights out of me if I'm a Cowboys fan. Cooper Rush or Trey Lance. Trey Lance looked awful. He's good. He played, 15 total college games? Nate, if you could get clarification, I believe it was 15 or less.
He threw 41 passes this weekend. That's insane. Completed 25 for 41.
That's insane. Either way. Yeah. And then what's the other option? Cooper Rush? Come on. And the Cowboys are too good, at least on paper, to get a top 10 pick. They'd have to blow through draft capital to move up. So it's a weird situation Dallas is in. Yeah. All right. Any other takeaways for week 1? Get it off your chest now or forever hold your peace. We're about to shit on the Olympics for about 20 minutes.
We won.
Oh, boy.
All right. You know what, Nate? You know what? I'll give you credit. Say your piece, baby. Go for it.
We won. Don't mess with our running game. We are ready. We don't miss Saquon. Sure, I'll get have him. We'll be just fine.
And Can I get that in writing?
Yes, I'll put it in a letter for you and send it to you.
Instant regret right there.
That's an Empire State of Mind if I ever seen it.
Very happy we won, man. Excited for this Saturday when the Giants play the Texans, and we'll see what more things that they can surprise me with. Because DeVito's going to be QB2, it seems like. Drew Lock is a not so very good player like I thought he would be. So, but yeah, we won. I'm very excited. It gives me hope, despite the fact that these games don't count, but it gives me hope, man. I'm excited. We beat the Lions. 3 points. Allow it. Let's go.
Listen, I'm proud of you, Nate. I'm happy you're happy.
Thank you.
You're happy, we're happy.
Yay!
It's still the damn preseason. All I care about is we broke the Ravens preseason winning streak.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And you guys went up against Eagles great Nate Sudfeld. Remember when Giants fans were angry at the Eagles because they put in Nate Sudfeld in a game where if the Eagles won, they would have went to the playoffs or something?
No, that was my favorite thing because I got yelled at by like 4 Giants fans at work the next day. And I said, hey, dummies, win more than 6 games and then actually start complaining. If I understand if they were like 9-7 or 9-6 and the Commanders were 9-6 and the Commanders losing gets them into the playoffs, I totally get that. That's some Bush League. But when you're 6-10 and you have no ground to stand on, all right? That 2020 Giants team was abysmal.
What happened that year for all of us? Seriously.
Carson Wentz had a mental breakdown. We were introduced to the Jalen Hurts experience. Jason Kelsey almost murdered Doug Peterson. Zach Ertz was being a whiny little brat. Alshon Jeffrey was right. Shout out. Yeah. To you guys, I think wasn't that the year you guys had a bunch of injuries in 2022?
Was that the year the Commanders won the Division 7?
And then they took the Bucks to like the end of the game. It was actually a pretty intense
game. The Taylor Heineke playoff game, but Alex Smith got him to the playoffs, something like that.
Alex Smith got him to the playoffs, and then Taylor Heineke like legitimately was actually really good. Except I hate Taylor Heineke because he's a little whiny baby who milks for sex. Yeah, tell me how you really feel, Jared. Either way, hatred of Taylor Heineke aside, that was a weird year. Also, the Cowboys were awful too. So every team was terrible. So let's put 2020 and 2023. Let's jettison them off to space. 2021, fun time. Upstart Eagles team. Really over-the-top head coach. Talks about flowers and growing daisies. We somehow make the playoffs. Great. 2022, we're the team of destiny. We get robbed by a referee. It happens. 2023 doesn't happen. Doesn't count. All right, let's move on. Talking Olympics. USA won gold, baby. Suck it, France. Beat them in 2 gold medal games. And their Olympics sucked. Shout out Jack Mag at Barstool for this, because I actually went and looked this up after I watched this video. There was literally a gold medalist diver from Italy who slept outside because his room was so unbearable. That blows my mind and also cracks me up. They were importing food because apparently 60% of the food was like plant-based. Y'all know my diet to begin with is like 70% meat anyway. So I wouldn't have survived. I would have called them a bunch of smelly Frenchmen. Easy killer. This is a family-friendly program. As I just I'm just waving a pocket knife at you, just cutting something open.
Talking about salami, dude. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
It's kielbasa, but
Oh, Jay, you. I told this. I think I sent this to you and Maddie on TikTok. You look like the who's the streamers? The 2 brothers, Los Polos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you literally look like that one dude. You're his twin.
If you had a more New Jersey accent, yeah, that'd be you.
Oh my god!
Forget about it.
Let me find them.
Them and the Rizzler and the Costco guys.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't stand that father and son thing. That stuff drives me insane.
There's Jared. It's Jared.
I need a cigar. F this.
It's Jared, not from
He's
Subway.
got a cigar too. Look,
Ha!
he's you.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got an IPA too.
Oh, my margarita's gone. Damn it.
That's like, I don't know, Costco Jared.
Yeah, that's like
It's
$1.
Jared.
That's like Dollar General.
This guy just texted me. He said, "Fair enough."
Chris's penalty box is presented by the amazing people at Fight Just Fell on promo code BELLYUP for 15% off your purchase at checkout. For sponsor Belly Up Sports, the Korner Booth podcast, and Chris's penalty box. What have we learned?
Don't say fair enough.
Attaboy.
It's fair. I was thinking, like, what did transpire? That was the most innocent penalty box ever.
Yeah.
I had to throw. I try not to say it, okay, but when somebody makes a good point, I have to acknowledge it, and I got to figure out a better way to say it now because somebody's ruined it for me.
We're going gold, baby.
You got to be like, bit of a good
World
point.
champions of what? Oh yeah, no Lyles. We're world champions of basketball, in both men and women. And you faked COVID to because you got bronze. I said
Did
it.
you
Did
you see the video? See the video of the
big dance after
breakdancer?
COVID. I saw it. That was like a day after his COVID diagnosis. Like, bro, this isn't 2020 where you get 2 days to contain.
Did you see the video of the lady breakdancing?
Oh, the Australian lady?
Yeah.
Oh my god! But my wife just told me that she actually has a PhD in like body movements or dancing
What
in
in the
general.
NYU fake degree is that?
This lady has a doctorate in dancing, and that was what she
Oh,
produced.
my Lord, that was
Her source,
abysmal.
allegedly.
My father comes up to me and goes, "Hey, what's the deal with that lady who from Australia is doing the ridiculous breakdancing?" I'm like, I saw an edit when it was to the Simple Plan Scooby-Doo theme song. I was like, this is lit. I'm like, it was awful, man. At least the American contestant did something that resembled the breakdancing we knew when we were kids, but
She looked like she was doing some sort of dance on Broadway during a Shakespeare play.
it looked like she was trying to do a demonstration on what happens when your nervous system shuts down.
This is why you don't do drugs on the live screen.
Remember, kids, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just love how France. My lack of love of the country of France is well documented on this show. I don't hide it, but the fact that they bumbled the Olympics so bad, and we then kicked both their basketball teams' butts in the gold medal game. You're the worst European country. Oh, gotta love it. We win the Olympics. Tied with China for gold, but had more silvers and more bronze and more overall medals. Also, Australia, you're not close. So, boom, shakalaka. Any other thoughts on the Olympics? Anything that stood out to you?
No, we are the greatest country of all time. We're leading in medals again because we're the greatest country of all time.
Yes, sir.
We beat France in their home territory. Oh, by the way, they hate Joel Embiid. It is so funny. Did you see he was getting booed?
Yeah, and he did the
Him and Ant Edwards, dude. They were just like this.
Why don't they like Joel Embiid?
because he's technically a French citizen.
Oh yeah, he's technically a French citizen, and then I think he was telling the French crowd to suck it. So,
Was he going to sit behind Rudy? I mean, I wouldn't want it if I was Joel Embiid.
So has he got dual citizenship?
yeah, he's a flex player.
So wasn't Giannis on Team USA? Or no?
No,
He's on Greece.
Oh, never mind.
They didn't even make it. I don't think they made it even to the knockout stage because it's just Giannis and his brother and a bunch of guys you've never heard of.
Joel Embiid's like, listen, you may want me on here and then instead of Team America, but if it wasn't for America, Germany would rule us. So here I am playing for America.
We just prevented World War III because we won gold.
I know it was a long time ago, but we beat the British pretty good too.
We did.
And again, we beat them, and they were like, dude, you beat us so bad, we need you to help us take down Germany. We're like, say less.
Mhm.
I think I'm more excited for 2028 because we're hosting it.
Nate
Yeah.
brings it back.
We
Oh
get
God, we got to
flag
defend.
football.
We got to defend the kingdom.
like football, baseball apparently is coming back, so softball. I'm excited.
Oh, they're bringing back America's sports for this. We're gonna take like
we're in a
50,000
breakdancing. Nobody. This was abysmal. Nobody cares.
USA clears.
Leave it to the Frenchmen to bumble this one too.
You know, they did do one good thing. They got Celine Dion. That was a great performance. Other than that,
And didn't Tom Cruise do like a Mission Impossible stunt or something?
maybe did not see that one.
I honestly that part that I watched about 45 minutes of the Olympics total that wasn't USA basketball.
I was Schmeckledorfed when I found out when I was watching the
That's
night
a
one.
word.
I learned that from SpongeBob. I figured out that it was like 5 a.m. in France, but we were watching it all happen at like 10 p.m. I was blown away. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine everybody over there in France that it's 3:30 in the morning. We got to get up. We got to go see Celine Dion and Tom Cruise. Come on.
Hey, oh boy, 3 a.m.
Get your French baguette and a little whatever you drink. Let's go.
Yeah. Anytime I think of France, I just think of that one villain from The Incredibles, Bon Voyage.
Mine suck, man. All right. Shout out. We're wrapping up this Olympics just like the Olympics should be wrapped up. Also, shout out to my fellow Polak, Iwa Suwabata, who took over the Olympics for being the really attractive Polish runner that everyone talked about. The one who looks like a certain adult film star that I don't want to get nixed on YouTube for mentioning. So,
Chris, you mentioned The Incredibles not long ago. They just started making a Incredibles 3. They're putting that in production. I put that out there. Potential breaking news.
Disney saw what Universal's doing, and they're like, okay, the next 5 years, we're going to build a dynasty.
well, Disney's got to. I think Bob Iger realized like what they were doing between Star Wars and Marvel was just not working. So they're like, okay, we got to do something here. We're going under. So back to what makes them money.
Yeah.
Toy Story 5. They didn't even need a 3.
Toy Story 7. Toys versus humans.
Yeah, right.
For Incredibles, we're stopping at 3, right? There's no reason.
No, we're going forever. We're going to like 9.
The logo's gonna look weird. The eye on the logo, it looks fine. We're gonna stop at 3.
Listen, it could look good as part of the 4.
No, it doesn't. It just
the line, and then Nate. That's actually basically 5 would look stupid.
But yeah,
I thought they did a great job of the second, so I'm fine with third. If third's mid, don't give me a fourth.
I didn't even know there was a 4th Despicable Me until about like a week and a half ago.
Oh man, I haven't even seen any.
I like. I saw the first Despicable Me. I saw the first 2. My favorite's the Gru's assistant, the dude who's got like that like crappy like British accent. He said, "I Gru, we're gonna steal the moon." He sounds like he talks like David Bowie, dude. It's
like a southern British guy.
A southern British guy.
British guy that moves to Texas.
All right. Yeah. So we kind of got a little bit of freedom time here. We got about 15 minutes left in the show. Obviously no guests this week.
Ready to take your shirt off.
Nah, it's not that kind of podcast.
Well, we had time. So that's what I thought.
We can talk about how MLB bumbled the power rankings so bad this week.
We're still number 2, Chris.
I hate the Phillies right now.
I told you last week we all have our slumps. Jared's gone through it already.
It's been
we went through it.
Yeah,
Chris, I was trying to tell you, it's not you guys. We just steamrolled everybody.
It's
like
not
LA about to catch some hands.
It's been a month and a half. What is going on? Nothing's
You
working.
know what the best part is? Y'all still in first place.
That's like the least of my worries right now. I'm worried about my baseball team who's
tread water until you catch your stride. That's how baseball works. Always.
What are you, Mr. Miyagi? I don't know what the hell's going on with my team right now. I hate this.
All right, all I'm telling you is right now, as it stands, you still have the third best record in baseball, the best record in the National League, tied with the Dodgers. Hey, listen, you could be the Dodgers who a month ago had like a 10-game lead on both the Padres and the Diamondbacks, and now your lead shrunk to 2. And Diamondbacks are just getting healthier. You don't have to worry about us again, I believe, until playoffs if we play you guys. Okay? You got to worry about beating the Mutts, the beat-up Braves. Shout out Scotty K for coming on Thursday. And the rest of the dynamic duo of teams that are just abysmal in the NL East. Focus on what you can control. For us, we get revenge against the Rangers, suckers, and we get all I was happy was the Josh Bell acquisitions worked out great. Justin Martinez looks like the guy that we thought he was going to be. You know, we can throw a 99-mile-an-hour sinker ball that's a splitter hybrid. It's great. But all I will say is, so the MLB rankings right now, this is what cracked me up because I went and read the comments this morning and I was dying. So they're like, hey, did we get this right? So their rankings are as follows. Royals 10, Snakes at 9, Twins at 8, Padres at 7, Guardians at 6, Brewers at 5, Dodgers at 4, Yankees at 3, Phillies 2, Orioles 1. I got 3 big complaints. 1, 2, and 3 are fine to me. I still think the Phillies are the best team in the National League because they were in every – listen, we just got pissed off Ketel Marte got hurt. We took it on your bullpen. That's not anything that the Phillies could do. The Yankees and Orioles are the 2 best teams in the American League. There's no question there. The Dodgers, I will give you at 4 only because they are still the second best record in the NL. Why are the Brewers at 5 or the Guardians or Padres at 6 and 7? I see the Twins at 5, Diamondbacks at 6, then the Guardians, then the Padres, and the Royals, and then the schmucks up in Milwaukee. I don't get it. And then the Royals. I don't understand why this is the lineup the way it is. This is like, I think the MLB is trying to eradicate last year's World Series because they wanted a Philly-Texas game, or like they could do the whole Eagles-Cowboys angle because it's Dallas versus Philadelphia, and Arizona ruined that. Or they could have done Houston versus Philadelphia and done like the rematch of the year before. But no, we had to go and ruin it. Or they wanted LA. We ruined that. Or Milwaukee. I feel like Rob Manfred and the marketing team have an issue with our playoff run last year. They thought it was a load of BS. They thought it was a fluke in nature. And now we have a healthy pitching staff, healthy bullpen, healthy offensive lineup, and they're getting hot. And we're stomping everybody. I got gripes.
Did Chris Mad Dog Russo ever retire from whatever he said he was going to retire from?
It was about my Diamondbacks coming back and beating the Phillies.
Yeah.
That was oh wow.
Was he supposed to retire from radio or something?
Yeah, never retired. I mean, ESPN didn't bring him back, so I kind of semi-retired, right?
I played for the Diamondbacks in my little league baseball years.
Nice. I did play for the Phillies and the A's.
Yeah,
I played for the Phillies, Red Sox, White Sox, Pirates.
So you're Shaq.
Yeah, I was doing a Shackton tour. I played for every team except for the Yankees and the 2 teams I wanted to play for, the Yankees and Diamondbacks or Phillies. Oh no, I did play for the Phillies one year.
I played for a little bit on the Rays and the Pirates, but I mostly played for the Phillies and the A's. But out of all those teams, the A's more than anybody.
Yeah!
I played in the Blue
We were
Jays.
never good. We were never good.
I played in the Blue Jays back when they had those really drippy the Roy Halladay era uniforms with Vernon Wells and Carlos Delgado, the black and blues. Those were clean.
I never got to play on the Yankees, but I thankfully never had to be a Red Sox.
I'm just going through the teams I played with. I think I played on the Guardians/Indians one year too.
My coach would bat me ninth. I was the worst player on my team. I couldn't hit a thing. I had to make an excuse that I had like some fake disease. Kind of made it up. I didn't want to play baseball anymore.
I love it.
Yeah, that disease that Drake had where it turned his hands and his feet green or yellow. I forgot what he called it.
I forgot about that.
He had to soak it in lizard pee.
Yeah, Drizzy.
Hail
Old
Drizzy.
Yo, Drake, where's the door? Oh no, Drake, where's the door?
Oh Lord.
Are you guys gonna do a fantasy draft this year for just us, the Korner Booth, or no?
I mean, we can do one. I'm up for it. We can hit up the boys.
4-man league would be insane.
Dude.
A 4-man league would be insane.
No, we'll have some friends. Don't worry.
No. I like a nice 4-man league.
What is it? Those NBA
$250 buy-in.
I mean, listen, we could do like a something like that just to see what it is. I don't think you can do a 4-man league. I think you have to do.
I might get Mahomes and McCaffrey, dude. I'm putting the league on notice.
I think you have to do 6. I think 6 is the league minimum.
Nah,
I might get McCaffrey, Mahomes, and Kelsey.
Yeah.
I'm
actually do that because
it's going to be at least 8 guys, so you can axe all those ideas right there.
I could literally draft backwards and take my defense and my kickers first, and then my tight ends and quarterbacks, and still have plenty of running backs and receivers to choose from.
Listen, if we want to do a league like this, we'll all get mad and we'll make like an all-star roster with 4 teams. Okay, you really want to get into that? But
we all need to do a live stream and drink heavily, and then do this 14 draft. Except Nate,
dude. Bring out all your mystery IPAs. Oh my God! I'll start popping Flintstone.
You see the one I sent you guys on? I think I sent it in the chat. The guy had like a 200 proof for
the highest.
That one's high, isn't it? Like
the highest.
It was like 67%.
You can trade me CMC.
Yeah, snake. It's called snake, a cobra or something like that, or like snake something.
I'll never forget the all-time. We talked about this months ago. The all-time fantasy trade. You trade me CMC, and you get to bang my wife 1 time.
That was wild.
That was the wildest trade. That
is just different, dude.
I hope she I hope she was informed about that, dude. You can't just throw your wife on the trade block.
I mean, if you're already getting divorced, why not?
I hope one day we get an update about that from whoever was involved.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, did it happen? Did it not happen? What was the outcome of the season?
I think it was on Reddit. So Reddit guys are pretty funny guys.
It would just be insane if the trade did go down. He did have sex with a guy's wife, and the guy still finished in like second place. Like, he lost.
Oh my God!
Imagine you lose to the guy that banged your wife.
That's the L of the century. And then France wins the gold medal. That is the worst L of the century.
Huh.
That's the darkest timeline. All right. God. All right, let's finish up. I did want to talk about this because it happened literally as we're getting off. It happened on Friday morning while I was driving to Canton. So Ceedee Lamb is still in contract negotiation with the Cowboys, been holding out. Jerry said he's in no rush. It was tweeted. Ceedee Lamb retweets it, LOL. So, to close out the show, Jerry Jones, any thoughts on this with the Ceedee Lamb Jerry thing? Like, what are you guys feeling right now with this whole situation? We talked about the Cowboys enough already initially about Dak possibly leaving. What's happening in Dallas, man? Is Jerry just trying to nuke it and start over?
I think Jerry is terrible. I don't know how else to really put it. He's that guy that starts out with saying something that makes sense, and then he just throws the curveball, and he loses you. Like how he was saying, like when he was responding about CeeDee Lamb, responding to his remarks, he was like, obviously, we love CeeDee and we want him here and we miss him being here. Perfect. But we don't miss him competing, and that doesn't put any sort of pressure or urgency on us to get something done. That is your best player on your offense, arguably the team.
Yeah, second best player on the team, first in your offense.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's better than Dak. He's better than any receiver running.
He's a top 10 receiver. He's the second best receiver in your damn division. Like, dude, like
he's like Michael Penix's age, and he's just at the top of his game. And if you don't pay him and he holds out, your season's going to rely on Dak Prescott throwing to Brandon Cooks, and that's really
Jalen Tolbert.
And Jalen Tolbert. They don't have Michael Gallup. He retired after he left. Like you're.
This whole situation with Dak and the whole with CD and the whole Cowboys thing, it's wild to me. I really just think it comes down to the fact. I swear, I'm telling you right now, I think Jerry's trying to nuke it and start over. I think Jerry's seen the light. He realizes if he wants a chip before he retires, he's got to blow this up. They're not going to win a championship. Dak's not going to beat Jalen in the playoffs or Brock Purdy or the Niners for that matter. He's not going to beat the Lions now who are loaded up.
Ceedee Lamb is Jordan Love last year.
Ceedee Lamb is great, but dude, you're picking you're signing a receiver at the worst time. They should have signed him earlier in the season, right before AJ and Devontae signed theirs. You probably could have got him for a bargain, but nope, had to wait. And you're bringing back Zeke. And you didn't do any running back moves besides that. I think that they're going to let Micah walk too. I think they're going to start the damn thing over. I think they're going to attack next year's free agency like animals and hit the draft hard. Do not be surprised if this is the year the Cowboys implode, wink, wink, and are a dynasty waiting to happen next year. And it scares the shit out of me. This is the theory in the back of my head that Jerry's finally figured it out. Either that or he's completely lost his damn mind. This whole thing's going up in smoke.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, look at the facts. Like Dak Prescott, fantastic regular season quarterback, can get you 11, 12, 13 wins, whatever you want. 14 wins. He's done it before. It's just when he gets to January, I don't know what happens. Same thing with Mike McCarthy. They just don't get it done. And besides firing the staff, which I did put that in that TikTok video, I do think McCarthy's on the hot seat if he chokes again. You've already proven that like Dak Prescott's just not clutch for you in January. You don't even get to February, barely get past the first week of the playoffs. I mean, if you want to blow it up, man, I'd be taking calls on Dak, CD, and Micah by the deadline. Those three players alone, you can get high-end draft picks for next year, the year after, whatever it is. If they truly want to restart like that, you're going to have to see what Trey Lance has. You did make a trade for him. Put him in for like the second half of the season. Let it be what it be. Take those draft picks, draft your future, sign your future in free agency. Like maybe blow it up that way. Maybe it could be a quick one-off season fix. But I'm not opposed to them blowing it up. I think that's best for them. And Jerry Jones needs to put somebody else in charge, GM-wise. He can't do anymore.
Stevie ain't doing jack.
If he had to pay one, though, I'm sure they're gonna pay both. But if he had to pay one, would you
pay
do
Micah?
that?
Pay Micah.
Yeah.
No, he's an Eagle.
You wouldn't pay him. So you wouldn't pay.
No,
CD
if I am the Cowboys, I have to pay somebody. I'm paying Micah, but they're not going to.
He would be the cheapest signing too. He's not going to get. I don't think he would get CeeDee Lamb money per year.
So
he's
you
like
would just
this weird.
Maybe he might just be just expensive, but I don't disagree with that.
Don't pay Dak. Don't pay Dak. That's the one you don't pay.
Then who's playing next? Then who's playing quarterback next year? Then
whoever they draft or sign.
Or you can see if Kirk Cousins is available at the end of the season. There are multiple options. Russell Wilson might be available, and you go draft somebody. There are options next year, so it's not like the end of the world. So I think all the QB, dude, Joe Milton might be available if there's a lot of different things. And who knows, this draft class like Cam Ward, and who's the other one? Will Howard, and then the kid Carson Beck. Those dudes and Quinn Ewers, they might be a decent draft class of four of those guys. So we don't know. So
Gardner Minshew could be a Cowboy next year.
No, Gardner Minshew, I swear needs to play for like the most hippie team ever.
Which would be
that's why he's so good with Jacksonville.
Say it, Chris. The AFC runs through who?
We're jagging off Jacksonville.
Yep, and Kevin, a sworn hater of Tennessee, has fallen into the Joe Milton trap. I love it.
It's just it would be very New England-esque for your future to have been your 6th-round pick.
Yeah, to waste your 4th-round pick on Drake May and then have to you realize
can't even call it a waste. They get their future for the next 15, 20 years, and it just cost them a 6th, even though they lost their 3rd. Better than half the team in the league. We can't get it right.
Fair enough. All right, gentlemen. I said it, Chris.
Fair enough.
That wraps up for today. We appreciate you all stopping by. We're back to regular Monday episodes going forward. The season has started, boys, so vacation's over. I will say this. I'm very excited for season 12, which kicks off in, I believe, 2 weeks with our college football preview. Me and Nate will start wrangling up our guests for that show. That'll be the Korner Booth Live. I believe that's August 28th or something. But whatever that Thursday is in late August. Either way, shout out to the boys at Belly Up for having an awesome time at the Fantasy Football Expo. And shout out to the Fantasy Football Expo crew itself for an excellent experience. Got a little nice little t-shirt to show for it. Had to be Browns color this year. Really? It's okay. It looks like chocolate with peanut butter inside of it. It's all good. Maybe I'm hungry. That's why. Either way, hope you all had a great weekend. It's gonna be a good week. We'll see you all Thursday for the Korner Booth pregame. We're doing our NFC East preview. Oh, it's gonna be a fun one. Only NFC East. It's the last division I talk about. So we hope you have a great week.
And we know who number 1 is.
Go away.
Oh.
It's okay, Nate. We still love you. Just check your realism.
I can't wait for Thursday. Woo! I'm gonna get my sleep.
Hopefully I do too. All right. Shout out to Candidates, SeatGeek, and Righteous Felon, and of course, Belly Sports. We will see you guys. Oh, and Buckeye Vodka. Thank you for sponsoring our amazing weekend in Canton, Ohio. A bottle and display stuff will be here in the next week or so. I believe Thursday will make its debut. So shout out to them and shout out to the Fantasy Football Expo crew for throwing a great week, and to Marcus Grant for stopping by the Belly Up booth and doing a little talk with us. That being said, gentlemen, have a great week, and we'll catch y'all later.
Love you guys.